Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome back to another incredible episode of Wake Up and Dream. I am so happy, as always, to be here with our lovely Lisa and our lovely Kelly. Today, I was inspired by this quote just because I feel like it rings so true, and it's something that in the last couple of years I've just learned a lot about, and I wanted to share with everyone. So the quote is, "People do not decide their futures. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures." And that is by F.M. Alexander. And I feel like I've just been this whole concept. So I'm going to throw out a term that I think we've used in previous episodes. This whole concept of a paradigm, and our paradigms, essentially controlling the results that we get, was something that was completely foreign to me. I always was of the mindset that like certain things just happen and it is what it is. And there's not really any control that you have over these things. But your paradigm is really a programming. It's your habits, your assumptions, and all of these thoughts that you're having that on a recurring basis, the habitual thought that you're having that will essentially drive different results in your life. So the concept is it's such a huge concept, but it changes everything. So whether you're going after a result or whether you're just trying to get through the day to day, those habitual thoughts can change the feelings around any different type of circumstance, whether that circumstance is itty bitty, at school drop off, or something that's huge, like this massive goal that you're trying to reach. And it's all influenced by this paradigm or your habitual thoughts and your just habits in general. So what's coming up for you guys as I speak through all of this?
Well, I was waiting for Kelly to chime in. I was like, okay, who's going to take it?
Well, I was just going to say really quick, though, Sarah, you said something about, you said it is what it is. Like sometimes you feel in life that some things are, it is what it is. And that's actually an Enneagram 9 that the two of us may struggle more with than others. And that's where we just kind of like feel, well, it is what it is. I didn't get the promotion. Oh, it is what
So
it
I wonder,
is.
Kelly, like doing this work and like a quote like this, or the idea or concept of a paradigm, did it hit you as hard as it hit me? Or maybe it is just because, I don't know, maybe it's just an individual thing, or is it like a 9 thing, or is this just something that people are generally not aware of that can hit hard? Like, what was your thought when you started learning about it?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I feel like because I've always had what it is sort of mental thoughts, usually in big or little things that happen. But yeah, doing the work now through our business coach and all that, like you do have more control over things than you may have thought. You can change your way of thinking and your way of doing and your way of being on a daily basis. We all have bad days, we all have bad circumstances that pop up. But like you can actually control how you receive that information and how you feel and how you react. It's not always, it is what it is. You
I
might
know,
feel
and
like
that's
that,
like
but it
that's
won't
the
last
key.
forever. You can take control over that.
Yeah, that's the key, is that you are both the problem and the solution in that case, right?
Ooh, I like that thought. You are both the problem and the solution. So I was actually talking with my team this morning. I send them little messages via an app, and this kind of ties into what I was talking about with them. And I'm gonna like push the antagonist. People do not decide their futures. If you just took that part of the quote, I would be like adamantly against and say that is not true, because we can decide our future, right? So I'm glad that the quote doesn't end there because then we would be stuck in default thinking we can't create our future.
100%.
So kind of going in alignment with what I was telling my team this morning was that you have to visualize and have a deep burning desire that actually creates a commitment. And if your desire isn't big enough, if your now goal, your vision of what you want in your life doesn't evoke that, like, oh yeah, this is what I want at my core, then your commitment is to the habits isn't going to ever happen. So they're they're very connected. That vision, I had in my own life. So I'll just share how my habits are creating my future. I have I have a big opportunity, an honor to speak as the opening speaker for Julie Ciardi in November. Woot, 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 woot.
Can't
Okay.
wait.
So in my mind, I am envisioning myself, and I did that actually on my walk this morning. I was envisioning walking on that stage 20 pounds lighter because I want to look and I want to feel like I am the healthiest version of me. So I've taken steps. I've taken steps to move my body every day. And I like that lingo that Julie uses, move your body instead of exercise, because exercise in my mind is like torture. Like it's just that's my paradigm, right? So I'm moving my body every day, taking my walk first thing in the morning, walk/jog, because I also set a goal to run a 5K October 1st. So I have a goal. That's my stepping stone so that I continue to create the habits in alignment with the future that I get to create. What do you guys think of that?
That gives me chills because I love the small habits. And so I think a lot of
Mhm.
us need to like give ourselves grace. It doesn't have to be, I have to run 5 miles every day starting today. It's literally just taking one small step towards a goal, or whether it's professionally or with
Mhm.
relationships, with your husband or friends or your mom, going back to school. It's just one step to change one little habit. And whether it's, waking up 15 minutes earlier or an hour earlier, going one time around the park. Don't feel like you have to do 10 laps to reach your goal, to feel better and to do better. It's just taking that one step towards what you're working for.
Completely agree. And, just to like bring it home, like what do you want? Like what do you want your future to be? Because we do get to decide our future, but it is our habits that do decide our future. That's the point of this quote is we can wish, we can hope, we can, talk the talk all we want, but if we don't actually do and take action, it's not going to happen.
And I love that you're tying this to a goal and a worthy goal, and one that like just there's so much desire around it because it's really comes down to, are you willing, right? That question is such a loaded question, but if the desire is strong enough and you see that you're not getting to the results that you want because your current habits and your current paradigm is holding you back, are you willing to work to change that? And that's the key point, is that you are, Lisa, you're taking these steps and you're working to change the previous paradigm of yours that was not serving you. And there are paradigms that serve you, paradigms that don't serve you. But in the case of the paradigms that don't serve you, it's work. It requires a lot of work to get to that point, and connecting it to a worthy goal is really the best way to make sure that you're going to make those changes.
Exactly. And I think it's the difference between having you have to have the desire, but if the desire is not as like anchored to a commitment to the goal, that's where the habits lie in your commitment, that willingness that you were talking about, Sarah. It's I want this, but am I committed to make it happen? Am I committed to do the work that's required to achieve the goal? That's where the habits and the commitment to the habits really, that's the rubber hitting the road for sure.
And yeah, one thing I've noticed too is like doing these new habits, we also need to recognize that we're not going to always feel like it. Like I am currently in that space right now with all my goals, my paradigms, my Enneagram struggles, pros and cons, working with, breathing and feeling through my heart. Like it is doing things even when you don't feel like it. Because we're not going to feel like going on that run. We're not going to feel like eating healthier when everybody around you at a, girls' night out, is having 3 glasses of wine and, you have made that choice to not, right? And it's difficult. Do you girls like struggle with that sometimes too? Like doing it when you don't feel like it. It's so hard sometimes to mentally show up every single day, every single moment for yourself.
Yes.
It's definitely a struggle. And I find that the, calendar process, like the Monday Hour one that Julie taught us in her program, actually really helps me with that because it holds me accountable to the things that I don't necessarily want to do, but that I know it's going to push me closer to the goals that I have. My struggle is making sure that I do the Monday Hour one so that I set up my week, because I feel like I've kind of fallen off the wagon with that. But when I was in a practice of doing that, and I would be like, okay, at Tuesday at 8 a.m., this is what I'm doing. Like it was kind of like I would look at my calendar and be like, I know I don't feel like doing it right now, but I put it on my calendar and I'm going to hold myself accountable and have integrity around what I said that I was going to do.
Yeah,
I think that's great too, to have it on a calendar, have it as a pop-up reminder on your phone, go for a walk in 15 minutes so that you're preparing yourself or starting to journal or wake up earlier or eating healthy. There's also, I don't know if you guys have ever used this on your phone where you set alarms. You can actually give your alarm a name. And I did this when I was pulling myself out of depression. So every like 2 or 3 hours, I would have an alarm at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, whatever, with "you are worthy" or "you eat healthy," or just positive affirmations that pop up on your phone. I know there's the I Am app that Sara also introduced us to. That's absolutely amazing. You can customize that based on your health, on professional goals, or what. Just having those pop-ups to remind you of your goals and what you're trying to work for, I think is also super, super important and helpful.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's planning for success, right? What is the you guys gonna have to help me. It's something about I don't know if I have it, but it's people pe- it's people that fail to plan to fail, something like that kind of thing. But the other thing that I guess I want to bring in here, because I think we have done this for each other, and I know in my team, like that mastermind, that community, that accountability and support, that's the only way for me to make habits stick. Like I know I can trust myself, and I'm learning to trust myself and have integrity with myself. You give yourself a command and you do it, that type of integrity. But I still feel like that need for a buddy, accountability, someone to say, okay, this week, I'm going to be moving my body five of the 7 days. Hold me to that. uh, and check in. You know, that's also a very valuable tool that we can do to help our habits stick. Definitely.
I love that. Accountability partners or hiring a coach that you check in with every week. Even if it's a text message to your buddy, "I just ran my mile, did you?" Or just hey, I ran across a plate of cookies at the office today and I didn't pick one up to eat it. And that's a win. So it's like those celebrations too with your accountability partner, or your team, or even here. Like, that's why I love you three ladies, because all three of us have had ups and downs, and we come into this group and we talk about it. We open our hearts and our minds to each other. We help lift each other up, and it's so important. You can't do it alone. There are some decisions that you need to make eventually by yourself, but to have that core group of women who are running alongside of you through the same goals. You can't hang out with those all the time that aren't motivated, don't have goals, complain about their husbands all the time, complain about their kids, and hate life. You want to be there and support those people, but they're also not going to bring you up to the level where you want to be. So yes, being with people who are doing it with you and know your struggles and know what you're going through and be able to lift you up instead of saying, oh yeah, Kel, just eat
Life
those Oreos
sucks.
today. Yeah,
Right.
try this Netflix movie. This is going to cure it. Like, no, you want to push them. You want to push your
Right.
accountability partners, and you want that for you, for your future.
Exactly. Oh, this has been so good. I want to know from our listeners, what habits are you working on? What habits are you working on that are shaping and creating the future that you are desiring? Ooh, can't wait. So we love to connect with you. So be sure to check the show notes on how to connect with us on Instagram, and subscribe to our podcast. We love you. And so until next time, we hope that you stay encouraged and that you wake up each morning and dream.